From haute couture to human potential, choosing alignment over applause. People think the hardest decision hit them when everything collapses. Well, my friends, mine hit me when everything was perfect. I was in Paris Haute Couture Fashion Week, walking down the runway with all the cameras, all the applause, all the lights. I was the queen. And a tiny, tiny thought came through the silence. I am not happy here anymore. This is not happiness anymore. Modeling gave me everything: prestige, freedom, flexibility, income that many desire, the decision to choose when to go on holidays and who to work with. For 12 years, it was heaven. But while I was growing up in my 20s, something else was growing up in me. My voice, my personality, my power, my ability to navigate through people, through communication, and through conflicts. But none of that was important in modeling. I was respected for my discipline. I was respected for being always on time, for being highly professional. But at the end of the day, I was just a beautiful face in a beautiful body. My power was not there. It was outside of the frame. So in the middle of that runway, beautiful runway, I realized that I had everything that people chased for years. But I did not have one thing that you could not buy, which is the alignment. Living was not easy. I had so many things to lose: status, money, certainty, identity, something that I was building for many years. And on top of that, I was close to my 30s. So the society allows you to invent and reinvent yourself at the early stage of your career. But when you're turning into that 30 number, people start questioning you. One thing I've realized in this path, important, is that sometimes the biggest risk is staying exactly where you are and not moving forward. Choosing happiness sounds beautiful and easy until you actually decide to do it. That's where all the fears come. The fear to start again, the fear to become nobody, and the fear of disappointing the people who know the only one version of you. But starting from zero did not make me smaller. It actually made me honest. And first of all, honest with myself. So, I decided to leave. I left the city, which was London at the time. I left the country, which was UK. I left the industry modeling, and I left everything that I built before that. And I stepped into a world where nobody knew me, but that exactly anonymity gave me freedom. I realized that sometimes when none of the points of reference that you had before are there, when they vanish, it is when the true becomes freedom, where they learn and when you can start to being yourself again. And there's something that people don't see. I not only left modeling behind, I started something new. I went into coaching. And coaching allowed me to keep everything that I loved about modeling, which was the flexibility, which was the freedom, which was the ability to choose who I want to work with and who I generally don't. And also, of course, the stage and the cameras, I still keep that. But coaching allowed me and gave me something that modeling never could, which was my voice, my purpose, the impact I could have in the society. I blended psychology with coaching, with communication skills and leadership skills, which was everything that made me, me. rebuilding was not glamorous. It was raw, it was real, and it was exhausting. However, that was the moment that the woman who I yet had to become was born. So today I'm standing in front of you as an interpreter, today I'm standing in front of you as an executive coach, as an entrepreneur, and also as a podcast host. And I can tell you that sometimes being in the spot where you're not happy and not doing anything about that is the biggest failure of your life. Reinvention is not about escaping, it's about finding your true self. And Toastmasters for me, it's not about learning how to speak in public, but to speak from the voice of a woman who found her purpose, who found her mission, and who found her alignment. So I left behind the world that defined me, and that gave me many years of happiness. And I found out the world that fulfilled me. Not applause, but alignment. Not perfection, but purpose. And not fear, but freedom. Thank you.